So we've now got a great idea of how React works, and it's time to move on to Redux. Teaching Redux in an effective fashion is probably one of the more challenging endeavors I've taken in the teaching world. Not only is it an inherently complicated topic, but the existing documentation for it, while very fantastic, you could go through the official docs here, it's also coupled with a very rapidly evolving ecosystem. So while Redux itself is very well maintained and the docs around it are great, it also relies upon a lot of packages on the side, some of which fall into favor and fall out of favor just as quickly. If you've done any research into Redux, you may have also realized that Redux is just the beginning of the road. On top of Redux, you have Webpack, Redux Router, React Router, Redux Promise, Redux Thunk, hot reloading, and a whole host of other technologies just to get started. Then, as an extra hurdle, you get ES6 syntax thrown in as well. So I view my job in this course as to not only unravel the mystery that is Redux, but to also address some of the parts of the ecosystem as well, to give you a more solid understanding of what package does what. Understanding how to use Redux is great, but understanding the core mechanics behind it is what's going to take you from being an engineer who can just use a framework to an engineer who can understand and build a framework. To accomplish this, the early parts of this section, or really the rest of this course, is divided into a couple different sections. So the first thing we're going to do, starting in the next section, is a description of what Redux is and what it does for us. So we won't be going through the official docs too much, but we're going to talk about a couple different diagrams, a couple different applications, talk about what Redux really does for us. Some of this is going to seem off topic, but the goal is to make sure that you have a solid understanding of how to model some applications using Redux in general. The next thing we're going to start on is a sample application with a head start. That is, we're going to build a tiny application on top of the existing boilerplate package that we already used. The intent there is to make sure that you have a solid understanding of what Redux does for us and what its purpose is. So coming sections are going to be a pretty rough journey, but my goal is to make it as clear and understandable as possible. So let's go ahead and get started in the next section.